We are Vital Signs.
Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to come here and look at our work on invasive species.
We began to answer many questions, such as, how did new invasive species reach the USA? What does its habitat look like? And how does it affect our economy and environment?
Invasive species have been known to hurt the economy for two reasons. Reason number one is they cost money to whatever country has to deal with them. Reason number two, most of the time you can't get rid of them.
I teach a 7th grade classroom called Scientific Communications. We worked for them with about 6 or 8 weeks, and we tied everything to the science curriculum that we have in the state of Maine. And we were lucky enough to work with Sarah and Christine at the Vital Signs program. To kind of adopt their model for the discards. And so it's a real authentic product, and the kids got out and did some great field work, so all in all it's been really great.
So when someone on Vital Signs finds it or does their survey, it's very straightforward. I'll get a notice and I'll report.
How would you define an invasive species? Well, it's like an animal that causes harm, or a plant, so like an organism that causes harm to where it's not native to.
An invasive species is a species that comes to a place where it's non-native and hurts the environment or economy in some way. So usually it becomes invasive because it doesn't have a predator or anything that eats it. So it just becomes so abundant that it cannot be controlled.
Well, an invasive species is basically something that is not native to the area and will either do economic or environmental harm to the animals and people around you.
It's like an animal that's invading a certain area and eating like a native animal and can't be stopped, such as like the Burmese python.
I learned about kudzu. It's an invasive plant. It hasn't reached Maine yet, but it's creeping up the New England coastline, so it's a potential threat to Maine.
My name is Henry, and I studied the Burmese python.
I like the drawing for them. I do that one.
My favorite part was that we got to draw the kudzu. I drew this. This is a flower, what the flower looks like. And I really like art, so I like to draw that diagram of it.
It is a crisp fall day and we're near the nice clean water.
I see, hear, and smell cars, people, crunch of freshly fallen leaves, overturned docks, fresh decay of plants, and a leopard frog.
Wow.
She read everything.
We are happy because we're outside in the sun with lots of plants.
We were happy because we're in Maine and the shoreline is beautiful over there.
Ooh, I wrote that.
help the GMRI, like they will share it on the website so they can make other people know about this invasive species.
Yeah, well, I just think vital signs is great because it involves students, mostly. It's not just students, I know that, but getting the young folk involved early on is, priceless. You gotta do it because they're gonna be the next group, right? So.
I think that the Vital Signs is a really good program because ordinary people can just look online and to help scientists identify invasive species, because the more people we have working on invasive species, the more likely it is that we'll be able to eradicate them. And so I think that it's a great program because it gets a lot of people involved working for a really good cause.